scholars that were lowest 25% or below the 50th percentile to attend our extended day tutoring. And then also we start Saturday University on October. Oh, I get my calendar. October 9th. Sorry. Saturday, October 9th. So October 9th, we start Saturday University. And that's for grades 2 through 8. And Saturday University it's for anybody that wants to sign up. And we're here for 3 hours doing reading, math, writing, science, and doing like enrichment activities in that. So again, it's not necessarily your lowest, which is what tutoring focused on, but it is open for anybody. And we are having that. So we're starting that earlier because last year we didn't start until about January. So we are trying to get that, close that, like I said, that COVID gap by having more additional time for catch-up growth, because our students have definitely missed that, if they were in virtual settings, especially. So we are looking at that for our growth for school-wide, providing those interventions with our students. We do have also intervention teachers in school that do small group pullout and provide also ESE services. So they provide pullout 30 minutes of reading, 30 minutes of math on a daily basis. So that's in addition, within the school. And then, like I said, those activities after, as well as on weekends. When we come to kind of windows like spring break boot camp, so we have like a spring break camp, and we try, and when there's those windows where they might be off, we have other things as well. We did also have our summer bridge academy. So this past summer was we have always had 21st century, but we also did a summer bridge academy for our K-2 kids. And we had about 115 students here for summer bridge. So they were getting additional reading, math, and writing instruction too over the summer as they were, prepping, for this following year. And it could have been because they needed that growth or needed that opportunity to have that catch up as well, because, again, a lot of learning opportunity missed last year. So again, school goals are focusing on our lowest 25% in reading and math, and focusing on our learning gains, providing those small group instruction. So that is based off of the data. Is there any questions on how, and you can put it in the chat, or you can, take yourself off mute and ask. Is there any questions about the numbers, the data, or any school-wide plans in reference to those academics? Let me check the chat.
Que dice que empieza el 4 de octubre. ¿Cuánto tiempo va a tardar las clases?
All right. So what I'm going to go through now is just our annual parent meeting, which is our Title I annual parent meeting. Explain what Title I is. Does anybody? Yeah. Okay, so I'm just adjourning the SAC meeting. Is there a second to adjourn the SAC meeting? Second. Thank you, Ms. Cheney. All right, so for Title I, you can mute yourselves. Sorry, some background noise coming. So from the Title I, does anyone know, or can anyone tell me in a chat or speak up, or anybody here, what does Title I mean? Does anyone know Title I? What does that mean? We got some smart parents. Let's go, parents. What's Title I mean? We're a Title I school. What does that mean? Don't be shy. Don't make me pick on one of you. Oh, let's see. Who should I pick on? Miss Bernard. Hi, Miss Bernard. How are you today? Miss Bernard, any idea what Title I might mean, or what do you think when you hear Title I being a Title I school? Any ideas? Any thoughts? This is how your kids feel when they get called on.
I believe the Title I program is like additional help, like in reading, math, and it's like to help the children, the extra help, like in reading or into the math. It's like extra help that the child gets.
Absolutely. Give Ms. Bernard a round of applause. Good answer. Well done. No, Ms. Bernard is absolutely Ms. Bernard is absolutely right. It is extra assistance for all of our students. So it doesn't not matter if your child qualifies for free and reduced lunch, every child gets that extra help. So Title I is based off of the free and reduced lunch status. So if you qualify for free and reduced lunch, then the higher the percentage. If you meet 70% as a school, if you're 70% or higher, you're considered a Title I school. And so you get Title I funding from federally, which then supports all kids. It supports 100% of the kids, even though if you're 70% or higher. So for example, our school, we were at 91% free and reduced lunch. So when parents fill out those free and reduced lunch applications, and the reason we nag you and try and get you to fill them all out is because it benefits all the students. Even if you're like, oh, I'm not going to qualify, just fill it out. You never know. Things have always changed. So just complete that on a yearly basis. And then if you qualify for free or reduced lunch, then that, like I said, also our percentage as a school, we get grant money for that. And then we use that to support our kids or support all of the kids with the help. So our Title I, component is, we're just going to talk a little bit about what that means and about a Title I school. So, we obviously kind of did our welcome introduction. What do we want for our children? Talk a little bit about Title I and what that means, how that implements with our standards and testing, and how parents are involved like you are involved today. This is how you are involved. So first up, first and foremost, every parent wants their child to be successful. I think you can all give me a head nod or a belief like, yes, you want your child to grow up healthy. You want them to be safe, and you want them to be happy and successful with whatever they choose to do. You want them to be happy and you want them to be successful. Your child may want to be a firefighter, or they want to be a police officer. They want to be an astronaut, or nowadays kids want to be YouTubers, or they want to be influencers, and there's this whole new thing, or what's the one I hear all the time, the online gamers, and some colleges and universities offer scholarships now for those students that are really good at, e-games or electronic gaming. And it's a new world, and you're adapting all that time. So they can actually get scholarships if they are really good at video games. So there are those different things, but again, whether they're really good at video games or you want them to be a dentist, you want them to be successful. And that's the first and foremost, with your child. You want them to be healthy, happy, and you want them to be successful. And so when they're older, they can take care of you. So, this is that first and foremost. Again, like I said, Title I, and what Ms. Bernard said is helping those children at this age so they can be successful, not only when they're kids, but helping them when they're getting out into the working world. So, what kind of person do you want your child to be? Like I said, being successful, being happy, being healthy. We do a lot of careers and talk about careers with our kids. Some of them have done like dress up, where they do like a living museum about things that they want to be when they grow up. And so we are always talking about that. We talk about our colleges and universities. And there's a big difference in colleges and universities for children. So, sometimes, we want to be, like I said, successful, good citizens, being respectful, be honest, and then, make more money than we did. So education is important. You can see here on the screen that, for example, this is just like a weekly earnings. When you're looking at somebody that has a bachelor's degree, they've gone off to college and they've completed a bachelor's degree, you're looking at around $1,300 a week, compared to someone that maybe did not finish high school making much less. So if you look at that on a weekly basis, education is key. Education is very important. It doesn't mean that you can't be successful with doing other things. There is absolutely vocational programs. You could go into mechanics, and you don't have to necessarily go to school, or you could go into the Army and you don't need to actually necessarily go to school, but there are opportunities. But ultimately you can make more, and you can be more successful, or you can drive yourself by being educated and having that opportunity. So we do talk to our kids a lot about higher education. We talk to them about college opportunities. We talk to them about what it looks like at different universities. Our middle school kids, we go on field trips. So in 6th grade, we go to Palm Beach State. In 7th grade, we've gone to Lynn University. In 8th grade, we go to FAU just for a tour of the campus, so they can kind of get that feeling of what it looks like. have opportunity to talk to different professors and do like a college tour. So we try and talk to them about education. And even though they're in elementary school, it's never too early just to expose them to some of those things in regards to higher education. So absolutely, education is key. So many years ago in the Bush era, you guys heard, oh, no child left behind, no child left behind. Well, that was back in 2001. In Obama's time, in 2015, he signed the Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA. So there is no child left behind. So whenever anyone ever says, what do you mean, no child left behind? Why is my child being retained? Well, there's nothing to do with that. That's a good sentence, but Every Student Succeeds Act is called ESSA. And this Education Act was signed into law in 2015 by the Obama administration. During the Trump administration, nothing changed. The ESSA continued. So it ensures that every student has a high quality education, preparing students for success in college and careers, provide highly qualified teachers who use proven teaching methods, provide quality opportunities for America's disadvantaged and high needs students. So there's always those, the ESSA Act, and those are just a few key points to it on how we can help our scholars be successful in elementary, middle, high, and then moving into higher education programs. And Title I, because it's a federally funded grant, that's why this Every Student Succeeds Act plays a part, because it's federal money. So we're using this federal money to provide to our kids so that they can get free tutoring. When they come after school, it's not something that you're paying for. When the students are getting pullout services by those intervention teachers, it's not extra. So these are all things that are paid through that federal money, and we have to document it. We have to, submit paperwork and documentation. There's kids sign-in papers and so forth. Even tonight, you had a sign-in sheet that you're getting this information. So these types of things, through a federal mandate, we have to provide so that people are aware. Now, because of that federal grant money, this is all how this ensures that every student can have that high quality education. So when those kids that are struggling, we want them to be in tutoring. We want those kids to get interventions. We want to provide that. And education doesn't happen just like that. Sometimes it takes a lot of time. Catch-up growth, if you've ever done any research on catch-up growth, if a child is behind 1 year, that's 200 additional minutes a day that they need for catch-up growth. So if your child is in first grade, but they're reading at a pre-K level, they need 400 minutes of instruction additionally a day. That's a lot. 400 minutes is a lot of time. And sometimes we're like, well, we just want our kids to be kids, Well, if we're running a race and we're already behind, if we don't move faster or better, we'll always be behind. We'll always move at the same pace. So you have to do more. You have to do extra in order to close that gap and catch up. So unfortunately, because that child might be behind, they can't do those fun things, and they need to be focusing on more of the reading or some of that other instruction to get caught up, to get that catch-up growth. So that's part of providing those interventions and provide, that tutoring, because sometimes it can be a long day for a kindergarten child to be in school or dropped off for before care at 7 o'clock, and then they're getting picked up from tutoring at, 6, 11-hour day. Like, that's a long time, for a child. So, we do, like I said, offer these types of things, for our kids to try and get them that catch-up growth. But the longer years you wait, the more difficult it is to catch up. If your child is in K1, 2, 3, it'll be easier to catch up than if your child is in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because now there's that social gap as well. So the foundational skills and fundamentals, that's why we try and focus on those, the young students. And I'll tell you, our kindergartners that just came in, it's the highest percentage this year of kids that did not go to school before kindergarten because of COVID. A lot of them stayed home. They didn't go to pre-K. They didn't go to a VPK program. They were at home. So a lot of kids that are now in kindergarten didn't have that social interaction with other children, or didn't have like a teacher or someone in front of them. A large percentage of them, the highest we've ever had. So again, that's that gap that we're needing to close. So again, that's why we have these tutoring things and so forth. And last year we started offering kindergarten tutoring. So Title I, Federal Assistance Program, high quality of education for every child, millions of children across the country. And yes, we are a Title I school here in Palm Beach County. The Title I, so it's the federal government provides funding. The Florida Department of Education send the money to the district provides it to the school. And then that's through the National School Lunch Program, or breakfast and lunch, which our kids receive. And then again, when you fill out those applications for free and reduced lunch, it's online. You do it online through our website as well. That makes you, or that qualifies us for Title I school. School of choice. So Renaissance Charter School of West Palm Beach, we are from the state of Florida is meeting criteria for a high performing charter school. We have been an A school for 4 years in a row. So we're very happy and excited about that. We are also the highest ranking Title I school in Palm Beach County when you're looking at FSA data. So that is really exceptional. For our scholars, if you look at, 3rd grade, you go to 5th grade, you look at ELA, you look at math, we outperform other schools that are similar in population to us. And we always have visitors that come by and say, how are you doing it? Or how is it happening? Public schools and charter schools. And they come and they see our kids, or they see our teachers. And a lot of it is just that additional practice, that additional time that we put in with our kids, the communication, and all of that support, provides, for our students to be high achievers. So we're very proud of that. Our kids are very proud of that, of being, like I said, ranked the number 1 for Title I schools. So our parents' rights, being a federal grant program, we have the 2 documents that we passed out today as well, and these are also being sent home. You have a family engagement plan. So you have a family engagement plan, and you have a school parent compact. So on the screen are just some bullet information in regards to that, and what it explains is your parent compact. As a parent, you want to be involved and request regular meetings. So bring up, opinions or concerns. It takes a village, so it takes a family. You can inquire and get provided information on your child's level of achievement, such as their FSA scores, NWA benchmarks. We send home report cards. We send home NWA benchmarks with those report cards. You can get information on the qualification of the teachers, their certifications, what areas. You can be informed of your child is taught by a non-highly qualified teacher for 4 more consecutive weeks. Because sometimes there is daily subs that might be in your classroom. There might be someone that's out for a couple of weeks or maternity leave. And as you know, there is a shortage not only in the state of Florida, but throughout the country in teachers right now. So there is that gap where they're trying to close, because less and less people are growing up to being like, I want to be a teacher. Less and less people are going to school for education. And so that pool is harder to come by when you're looking to hire teachers right out of college. A lot of people are career changers. They might be in a different area, but then when you transfer over to being a teacher, you have state assessments and things to take. So different things to be aware of. We do follow the Florida standards. So Florida's academic content standards. We are the best standards for K2, and then the Florida standards for 3rd through 8. So that information is always at cpalms.org, and you can see the different standards that your child is needing to master. Or if you just Google Florida standards or best standards, you can see what they need to master, from one year to the next. Some of our curriculum, so just a framework, we do have curriculum nights next week. So we have like our middle school curriculum night happening on the 20th. And we sent out, I think we sent out dojos, right? I want to say we did dojo messages, but we'll send out a flyer as well, a little bit closer to the time, so that you guys are aware, so that we have our curriculum nights next week. And perfect. And it's on the calendar, and we'll talk about our curriculum. So that reading, language arts, math, writing, science, and social studies. And then how we measure student success is you look at those FSAs at the end of the year. Flickers in kindergarten is like a pre-assessment at the beginning. It measures how they did in pre-K or before. Our NWA benchmarks, like I said, they do 3 times a year. So the fall, winter, and spring, and they've done the fall thus far. Our next SAC meeting will review that data of how they did in the fall. Reading running records is K to 3. And then our students in grades 3 through 5 do Reading Plus, and 3rd through 5th do Imagine Math. So they have online assessments. K to 2 do Lexi and Mathletics. And then grades 6 to 8 do iReady. So we have their iReady assessments for both reading and math, and those are online assessments too. And then supplemental programs, so additional teachers and paraprofessionals, training for school staff, extra time for instruction, so the before and after school programs, parent involvement activities, like I said about this evening, doing one. We have additional literacy nights or math nights as well. And we are back to doing those in person too, like our science nights. Last year, we lost a lot of that through virtual, but we'll have more hands-on activities throughout the years. Our funding this year is $402,000 for those services and programs. What that looks like is you're looking at tutoring materials that are purchased for all of our kids. So you're looking at reading, math, science, consumable books. We have a math coach and a reading coach that are also paid through Title I funding. We have our extended day teachers, so that's why everything is free. So our extended day teachers get paid on an hourly when they provide tutoring after school. We have an information center that we pay where we have like a printer and if parents need to print out like a resume or need to come up and search information or print anything or do anything like that on a computer, we have that service for them. We have 4 intervention teachers that provide services through pullout groups. When we do like literacy nights and things, we buy all that material and then we give it out to parents. So we always have free resources. And then the online tools. So the opportunity to use Lexia, Imagine Math, all those online programs, they all cost money. iReady is about $30,000. Lexia is about $9,000. Imagine Math is $12,000. So those are all thousands of dollars that add up, but these programs are free for our kids because they're research-based and they really help. They really do work if you use it properly. So all that money adds up to about $400,000, which we spend each year through this grant of Title I. So, that's why we, again, like I said, nag you to fill out those applications for free and reduced lunch, because we don't ever want to lose that funding, because then we'll lose tutoring. We'll lose those people that are the math coach and the reading coach. We won't have Saturdays, like we won't have anything like that. So that's why we don't want to ever lose that opportunity, because then we won't have those programs. And then how do we use these funds? So through our SAC, last year, we had those discussions at the end of the year about how that money is utilized. So we have parents, teachers, stakeholders, other staff that work during that SAC meeting to kind of talk about how to utilize that money and kind of where it goes and who's using it for, and then also what children, what impact that is. It was actually at the SAC meeting that it was discussed about kindergarten having tutoring. So we used to always do 1st through 8, and then we added kinder as well as that, and that was brought up during one of the SAC meetings. We look at that for our school improvement plans. And then the compact. So that parent compact is, what does the parent say that they're going to do? What does the school say they're going to do? And what's the student say they're going to do? So as a parent, monitoring my child's attendance at school, home learning and television viewing, check the Power School systems, website for updated information on a weekly basis, communicate with your child's teacher. We've been in school, 23 days, 22 or 23 days. There's been some people that have been absent for 13, 14 already, and not like COVID absent. I just mean like absent. That's unacceptable. If the child's not here at school, we can't help them. We can't teach them. So keeping them home and then wondering, well, why is my child have an F? Well, they're not at school. They're not learning anything. They're not here. So, it's important that your child's attendance and that they are in school is vastly important. So if you're here as a parent, chances are that you're involved and you're here tonight, that your child is in attendance, but we have some individuals that, aren't showing up. So that's important to, obviously be in attendance and be monitoring your child's academics. So involve parents in meaningful ways. So implementing, reviewing, and parental involvement programs. You can get involved through the SAC committee, which is, a big way to do it, which is great. And we have that every month on the Tuesday. So that's very important as well. And then, like I said, other things that we have, so we have the involved in the Title I programs, and then offer meetings at flexible times to maximize participation. So what we do is we have our parent conferences. We have those set up throughout the year where you can just meet with a teacher, or you can dojo. We also have set in conference days where our teachers can provide conferences after school, usually on Wednesdays, and then they can meet with you. And then we also have things where we are doing like literacy nights and math nights. And then, like I said, sending things home, whether it was like a flyer that's being home, a school messenger, the calendar that goes home as well, classroom dojo, communication days, and then also we upload everything onto our website as well. So trying different methods for what works for you. A lot of our elementary, are on our dojo, so that's probably the best way to communicate. Middle school, they might be in Schoology, so that's a good way to communicate. Some people can go through and check the website, and that's a good way for them to find information. Or if they have their child's power school, they can look at their grades that way. So there's different ways for communication, and some people just prefer to call the office, but just trying to communicate and find out information, with what's taking place at the school, because there's always a million things going on. And then other ways is parental involvement. So, assisting parents in understanding academic content. We do that through having curriculum nights, which again, like I said, we're doing next week, having those conferences, and then math and literacy nights, and then also learning about power schools and the online programs of Lexi Mathletics. So there's different things on how you can be involved and the different programs to use. And then, like I said, the involvement of yourself is you're the first teacher. You are your child's first teacher. You have the ability to influence your child and more than any other teacher, or school. So you know your child best. You want to share that information about their interests, abilities, see progress reports, and see how they're progressing throughout the school year. Progress reports do come home on Friday. So if you don't have Power School access, we also submit a paper progress report, and those come home this Friday with your child. And you always get 2 copies, 1 comes back. And then support your child's education. So share that love of learning with your child, read to your children, ask your child to read to them, limit TV or put on the captions on your TV channel. You can put on the captions, and then you turn it to mute. So they have to read at the bottom what's being said so they can understand.
I like that idea.
Yeah, do it, use it, absolutely. So you just put the captions on and put it to mute, so then they're not just listening, they're reading what's on that show or what's on that movie. Take advantage of the public library. Unfortunately, a lot of public libraries are dwindling down, or they're downsizing because not many people are attending or going to them, and those are all federally funded areas. So access your library and see what resources they have. We are able to start doing field trips again. And we do have field trips that we do take our kids to the libraries too. So show interest in their school day, ask questions, check their homework, praise their efforts, encourage them. Even if they just got 2 out of 10, hey, it's better than nothing. You got 2, good job. I'm proud of you. Keep working and building on that. So encourage the good stuff and the small victories. So encourage that as well. And then, like I said, get to know your child's school, communicate with the teacher. So attending school events, having an opportunity to volunteer, which has been a little bit lackluster over this past year and so, and we're still being limited in that area, but we still have our SAT committee. So doing those things after school, attending those trainings. So we do have our parent university, which happens on Saturday as well. So we do that through our Franklin Covey with our leader and me. So we talk about the 7 habits for families. Be prepared for your child's meeting. Ask those questions. Consider whether you've met your responsibilities as that parent, and then how you can help and improve and work with that teacher to have that work as a village. And so then just at the end, so at least those parents that are here present, you have that school parent compact. So if you just look at the back here, you can just read that and you can sign it on the back where it says parent. And then the family engagement plan, you can just sign it on the back too, where it says parent name. And then Ms. Rob Price has an evaluation too, or they have the evaluation. So you're just going to fill that out and you're going to give those to Ms. Rob Price before you go. But let me just go back. So is there any questions about Title I? Again, I thank Ms. Bernard for kind of mentioning that earlier. Let me see. When can I sign my son up for tutoring? So you will. So we did send home letters today. We sent home the tutoring letters today. Again, that was based off of NWA. So if they were below the 50th percentile, so you would receive a letter. Check your child's backpack for those letters for tutoring. Again, it's Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And we'll see where those numbers are like. And that doesn't start until October 4th. The Saturday university papers, they'll be going home on Monday for Saturday university. They'll be going home on Monday. And Saturday university doesn't start till October 9th. Yes, A school, keep that going. How long will additional classes that begin October 4th take? Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Thank you. So tutoring is after school, and that goes until 5:15, 5:20. So tutoring after school goes from when they get out, so 3:30, 3:45, and it goes to about 5:15, 5:20. And pickup is over here at the 4 to 8 loop for pickup for tutoring, which is, like I said, 5:15, 5:20 on the Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Wednesdays, we usually have like our faculty meetings and professional development. And then Fridays is clubs, and clubs start September 24th. I think flyers are going home tomorrow for clubs, for people signing up for clubs. Let me see. No, thank you for being in attendance.
Mr. Lupton, I do have a question.
Email. So if you had Miss Desir, so what I can do is I can check in with those teachers as well to make sure that they're responding back to you. So if you have emailed them, just making sure that you have the correct email, and then making sure that they're following up. And I'll look up the child and follow up with that too. Yes, question.
So my son did not score well on the NWEA test, but he still did not receive any paperwork for me to sign. So I would love to get him involved in the tutoring, you know, everything that you guys are offering to the kids. I would love to sign him up, but I didn't receive any paperwork.
And that was for Sacred?
Yes.
Okay, I'll see how he did. Like you said, if he didn't score well, you referring to the fall or the last year's spring?
The fall, I believe. Yes.
Fall? Okay,
Yes,
I'll have a look and see, and we'll see if a letter was sent home for him.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Any other questions that we can help you with, or Title I?
Everything else is pretty good. Like I said, I just want to get him involved in, you know, any tutoring or anything that will help him, you know, just succeed in first grade. So I don't want to miss out. You know, last year I didn't make it on time. I want to make it on time this year, you know.
Gotcha, absolutely. All right, let's see. Ms. Watson, you doing okay? Thumbs up, all right. Let's see. Ms. Heath, how are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing good. All right, just checking in. Who else?
Yeah, I forgot about it and kind of jumped on it. I was like,
no problem. No problem. I thank you for being in attendance. Thank you so much. Lewin's mom, how's Lewin's doing? Lewin's okay?
Yes, he's doing fine. Thank you for asking.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. All right. All right. So let's see. Miss Henderson. Miss Henderson, you get in touch with Miss Iggy? You good, Miss Henderson? You got in touch with Miss Iggy?
Well, yeah, she introduced herself to the class and for schoolology. So Miriam has been speaking to her. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, again, like I said, just thank you so much for attending and coming here. Where can I get more information about 21st Century? So 21st Century is grades 3 through 8. 21st Century is grades 3 through 8. So there is currently, Mr. Thurman's not here. I think there is a waiting list, but 21st Century it's a different grant, but it is another grant, a federal grant that we have, but it's for students grades 3 through 8. So you can get that information through the office if you wish. There is a application that you can have or sign up if you want to get on the waiting list. And Ms. Sturman, C. Sturman at westpalmcharter.org. If you want to put that in the chat, Ms. Rock Price, she's the program director. All right. Well, again, thank you guys for coming. If you want to stay on and just have a conversation afterwards, you can. Or if anyone here wants to have a talk afterwards, you can. I thank you for attending our Title I and SAC meeting. I didn't want to keep you too long. So You know, about an hour, not too bad. All right, I didn't talk too much. That's good. That's good. So I thank you guys for attending. Thank you for the virtual. And you guys are happy with both the virtual and school option. And we want to keep that option provided for you. It's a nice tool to have. So we're glad that we have that. So again, thank you very much. You can sign off now and have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Lupton, for all that you guys do. My son has made great improvements. I appreciate you all.
Thank you. Thanks, Mom. Thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sarah, are you sleeping? Slept through my presentation?
Okay.
Oof. Slept through my presentation?
Dale,
You were awake the whole time? Yeah.
dale. Sí.
Okay.
Ya terminó.
If you don't have any further questions that come for Mr. Lupton or myself, you can log. If you didn't have any questions, you can log off at this time unless you have questions.
Hi.